It takes as much energy to dream as it does to plan. Eleanor Roosevelt. My friends, let's jump into these charts. We see stocks are down, bonds, gold, and Bitcoin are up. And as we look at this first chart, which is a 195-minute chart, that's an actual half day in the stock market, opens at 9:30, closes at 4. We can see where in the morning things really jacked down and then pulled up some in the afternoon, not hitting the lows that it hit in the morning. And again, these are Heikin Ashi candlesticks. That opening is the average of the high and the low, the Heikin Ashi high and low of the prior period. And then the closing is the average of the high open low close. And again, the wicks you see on the top and bottom are the high and the low. What the Heikin Ashi candlesticks, and I'm a big believer in, is they filter out so much of the noise that you would see in other candlesticks, just the standard ones, and that's why we like them so much here. This red line here shows you where the price is at the moment. Now, as we focus on these charts, we can see we had average volume in the morning, not so much in the afternoon. And of course, we haven't hit that low again that we hit in the morning. I'm sorry, we're not there now. Looks like we hit about the same low in the afternoon, but we're not there at that point. Things pulled up a little bit. But look at this blue line here. This is our weekly trend line. Now, we have stayed above it for quite a while. We have crashed down through it. What does that mean for us? Well, when we look at the 2-day, and we're still red on the STC on that half day. Look at the 2-day, we can see that we're still green on the STC. We can see where in this last candle, we had some volume, not quite up to the average volume. And then first day of this latest 2-day candle, not even halfway up. And we see where things are rolling over, heading down. So we will pay attention to this. You know, we've broken through the weekly trend line. We are above the 200 EMA, still green on the STC. What about the weekly? Weekly is not showing a break yet here. Again, Heikin Ashi candlesticks. But what have we been seeing? We've talked about this. We're reaching lower highs on the last 3 weeks and smaller candles. So maybe this move up is petering out. Where will we see it first? Of course, on the half day, which we had, followed by the 2-day, which we see. Not on the weekly yet, but that might be presenting itself to us. We can see where volume's gone red over the course of this last week. So we'll keep an eye on things. Don't have super surging volume, so we'll see how the week starts out. May have the opportunity here in the not too distant future to find ourselves shorting the market. We'll wait, watch, and see. Let's look at the Qs now. We'll go first to the half-day chart. Similar to the S&P 500, you can see how we had high volume in the morning, lower in the afternoon, not reached the lows of the morning and afternoon at this point. We pulled back up some, down 0.66%. We look at the 2-day, and again, it's still green on the STC, and again, pushing through that weekly trend line. We look at the weekly, and of course, same kind of thing on the S&P. The movement has been slowing. Volume is red, so we will keep an eye on things, see what this leads us into over the course of the next week. Maybe this market has stopped moving up. That could just be digesting, getting ready to move up again, or the overall market feel, the desires of the market may very well be rolling over. We'll see. Now, let's move from here. We'll leave stocks. We'll go to 20-year U.S. government bonds on TLT. Now, as we look at the half-day chart, we can see where things were down big in the morning, pulled back up some, up for the day 0.57%. Bonds, of course, pushed through. And since they pushed through just barely on the afternoon of Thursday the 9th, they then continued on down Friday morning, Friday afternoon of last week, sideways for a couple of days, and then plumbing down. First green candle we have seen in a while. It's a little one, Not a whole lot of volume so far. So again, maybe trying to test a bottom here. We'll see just what's going on there, how the week continues, or how this next week progresses. We look at where things are on the 2-day. Of course, we talked about this earlier in the week when it crossed over going down on Monday. And of course, these two subsequent candles have been heading down too. Not a lot of volume on this latest one. We look at where things are on the weekly. Still holding out on the STC, still green, but second week of down moves. So we'll wait, watch, and see. Prices well below the weekly trend line. Let's move on to gold. What's up with gold? Gold below that weekly trend line on the half-day chart, down in the morning, up in the afternoon, 0.40%. Lots of volume in the morning, not so much in the afternoon. 2-day chart, we can see where things have been stroking down for 6 weeks. I'm sorry, 6 2-day candles, 12 days. Again, we see lots of volume on that prior candle. First day of this latest 2-day candle, not as much volume, going a little bit lower during the course of that 2-day candle. Weekly, second week of increasing stronger down moves. But of course, as you look at it, we don't see volume increasing. We actually see volume reducing. So that's something to pay attention to. You can sure see where the insiders were selling off the gold as the dummies were buying it, hoping it would continue to go up with that volume spike with not a large candle. You would expect larger candles with stronger up moves, and you would expect weaker candles with no up move to speak of. You saw where it was surging around. There's between the open and the close, very slight. So again, portending many times a down move, which we saw after that. That is where we are on gold. We'll keep our eye on things, see where it goes over the course of this next week. I'm ready for gold to stop this down move and start back up again, but doesn't matter what I'm ready for. It matters what gold is going to do. Now, as I get to Bitcoin, I will tell you that we release for everybody on Fridays our charting cryptos and commodities, which I record earlier in the week, typically on Tuesday or Wednesday for our Patreon members. It'll be released today, so check that out if you want to know more about what's going on in the crypto space. We do see where things had dropped off, started off the morning small, zoomed up a little bit, not much volume here at all, up for the day 0.63%, not reaching the high that we saw back on Thursday evening or Thursday afternoon. We are green on this half-day chart on the STC, having gone green on Wednesday afternoon. We look at what's up with the 2-day. It's been green for quite a while. We had things stroke down, and then for the last 3 days, 2 days on this latest candle, the prior candle, and 1 day so far on this first day of the latest 2-day candle. And again, not a whole lot of volume there, so makes you wonder just how strong and long-term that move will be. We look at where we are on the weekly. We see a lot of ranging this week, particularly up. The bulls trying to push it up, but the bears pushing it down. Not a whole lot of volume here, and we'll just wait, watch, and see. I'm just ready for the STC to reset itself here on the weekly and for things to start triggering accurate moves for us. We can see this last one didn't do much for us at all. It triggered off and then just set off 3 weeks of down moves and then a sideways slide. So we need our STC to reset itself for us. And again, things have hit a higher high, at least over the course of this week, than we saw with the latest high back in August. So that's telling us that, again, they tried moving it up, but weren't able to get it to settle there. So we'll wait, watch, and see over the course of this next week as markets move forward like they always do. We love to hear from you. CW@chartingwealth.com. Thank you so much for the Patreon supporters, and we appreciate all of you, my friends. God bless. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.